Hey team, welcome back. This video is all geared up. I'll look at dwarf healers and the two styles of them. So if you are a dwarf healer, this means that your dominant function is extroverted feeling. So in MBTI terms, you would be an EFJ. So this means your dominant function is extroverted feeling. It's a judging function. So you need to learn and gather information from an introverted perceiving function through your auxiliary function. And then your tertiary would be extroverted perceiving. And then your inferior or aspirational function would be introverted thinking. So dwarf healers enchant their weapons with a warrior or a hunter enchant. We're going to look at the differences in this video. So first, dwarf healers, extroverted feelers. Some keys to them are they value group harmony, and that's over the individual value, okay? So what everybody else wants and needs is more important than the individual's desires, because group harmony works really well. If everybody's focused on how we can make the group work well, then the individual should feel good through that. They like to avoid conflict. Because if you have conflict, you don't have harmony. It's difficult, it's draining, it's exhausting to deal with people fighting, especially in your group of friends or whatever. They express their emotions outward. They extrovert feeling. They're sensitive to the needs of others. They're always looking for, how's this person feeling? Are they okay? What happened to them? What are they worried about? And what's the relationship between these two people and what's going on? And they are unconcerned with objective logic as a preference. Of course, everybody looks to objective logic at times. But when they can, they are probably going to ignore that and focus on the feelings and the needs of the group. And so the suffix that they have been condensed into is of harmony. So their attacks, if you have this enchantment, your attacks will heal allies. So now I'm talking to you. If you are an EFJ, this means that you are a dwarf warrior. Okay, so you like AoE heals, you're trying to maintain the group morale, get everybody built up and ready and good to go, feeling good, and you're concerned with, how other people think about you, about other people in the situation. You want to smooth things out. And that is a judging function. It's a decision-making function. So first and foremost, you want to have an effect on people and kind of move them around, kind of like a geomancer, but with emotions, moving emotions around, right? But because you focus so much on that, you repress this internal logic, this internal thinking side, and which shows you the actual workings of the world in a technical sense, okay? And this is called accuracy. This is what it's been condensed into for the RPG terms. And, if you are focused so much on extroverted feelings and you ignore the small logical details, well, sometimes you just kind of align yourself with people that maybe you shouldn't in a bad group of people, but it's the group. You don't want to break up the group, structure, and so you just kind of go with it. And that's not the right choice for you, Also, you might kind of over-exaggerate truths and that logic that you find in order to have an effect on a group and people. It's you versus them type kind of aggression. But it's not always bad, It's an aspirational thing too. It's a love-hate relationship with your armor. You don't want to take hits, but Sometimes you got to. And the more you let yourself look at the introverted thinking side of the world and make those decisions, then the more well-rounded you'll be, right? That's what we're about, well-rounded individuals. So you are a dwarf healer, and if you're an ESFJ, this means that your main hand is enchanted with introverted sensing, or the of experience suffix. And introverted sensing is a perceiving function. So it's how you gather information, how you learn about the world, how you take in information. And it's introverted, so you're taking in and reviewing and reflecting on this information. And it's sensory-based data, okay? How tall something was, how hot, how cold, the shape, the texture, the sound, all that stuff. How the lighting reflected off something, right? And you can kind of review it like a movie or like a photo album or something like that. You know, very clear, detailed, okay? It's not abstract, but what actually happened. And this is an elf warrior based enchantment, right? So think of it as kind of slow and steady and sturdy, slowly moving forward, right? It's not quick by any means, as elves are. So yeah, the best thing for you is for you to think about how things were in your past and kind of some methods that you know and what you understand about the world, and then adapt that to helping people, helping your family. It could be a small group. It doesn't have to be the whole world, you know, but it could be. But it also could be, you know, your family, your close-knit group of friends, one person even, and just making them physically feel comfortable and feel good in a situation. But it takes a long time. It takes a long time to go in and review and look at all this information. And sometimes it's kind of painful to go into your past. And so another way that you can gather information, can learn about things, is through the extroverted intuition perceiving function, which we'll call of exploration as an enchantment. So exploration gives some more movement speed, right? It gets you going, gets you bouncing around, looking for different possibilities and aspects and things in the world, right? Some new ideas type thing. It's the complete opposite, the mirror opposite of introverted sensing. So it's a lot faster. It's extroverted. It's looking at all these different details. So it's easier for you to do. Right? It's not the best choice, but it's easier for you to do in a lot of ways. Okay, not always, just preferences. I know I say that a lot, but so you've kind of inflated it probably, and you might think you're really good at it, because that's what happens with your offhand, right? But this orb in your offhand that's enchanted with exploration is not your best choice for gathering information. Okay, it's your defensive choice, trying to protect you and keep you in the extroverted world and stop you from having pain by going in and reviewing things in your past. And it's a good idea to ignore that a little bit and focus on the introverted sensing side. If you get stressed out, sure, it'll bring you back to that dwarf realm, right? So if you get stressed out, maybe you can just play some video games. That kind of relaxes you. You're exploring new worlds and stuff. It's not too heavy, okay? And that'll take you back into the extroverted feeling mentality. So ESFJ. This is a quote from Hugh Jackman. For me, life is about deepening my connection with others and deepening my level of service. Pretty cool. Okay. So, basically, he is, deepening his connection with others is obviously extroverted feeling, and his level of service, I thought of that as an introverted sensing type thing, but it's also extroverted feeling too. It's kind of helping other people, right? So in the United States, it's 12.3% of people that are ESFJs, and that's according to Myers-Briggs.org. All right, so another look at the EFJs, except this time ENFJ. We have your dwarf healer still, using those AoE abilities, helping people out, doing a lot of cool stuff, making sure people feel nice. But this time, your main hand is enchanted with vision. This is an introverted intuition, elf, hunter aspect. Okay, so this is more looking at the future predicting kind of pattern recognition style. Okay, the last time we talked about introverted sensing, which is concrete, real things that happen. But this time, introverted intuition is looking at the connections that you can glimpse off of what really happened. Okay, so it's like, yeah, this is the actual details, but it's not as important as what it means underneath, okay, where it's going. Okay? And this gives you visions and kind of premonitions and the ability to look at things through different perspectives. Okay, it's a very strong data gathering, learning function for you. And it helps inform your decision making, your extroverted feeling side. Okay, so you want to look at how things relate and where things are going into the future when you make decisions about harmony and helping people out using extroverted feeling. But you can't always use your main hand. Sometimes you get stressed out, you want to stop all that slow reflection, you just want to go out and do something. And presence is how you do that. Presence is the extroverted sensing function. It's a dwarf warrior, right? So you're ready to go out, get and grind it, go and do, just start swinging and experience the real world for what it is, really, not the abstract side. And that feels good, right? It's easy to do. You're still in dwarf land, you're still looking at extroverted things, and you get instant feedback. Reading body language, for example, is something that, extroverted sensing and extroverted feeling do really well together, because you can see what's happening and they move slightly different, or they point their toes at you, or whatever it is. And then you kind of embrace that and inform people of what's going on and use extroverted feeling to make everything happy and work out nice and well. But try to stay away from that as much as you can when it's the right thing to do. And look at introverted intuition, because it'll help you out, it'll help you grow and level up. So ENFJ, here's a quote from Oprah Winfrey. "My fame isn't about me. I am the messenger to deliver the message of redemption, of hope, of forgiveness, of gratitude, of evolving people to the best of themselves." She makes it easy. She's definitely an ENFJ. She's talking about delivering this message and talking about evolving people. Well, both of those, introverted intuition is talking about that message, knowing what's happening and what will happen in the future and how we can hope, And then extroverted feeling would be about forgiveness, gratitude, evolving people, I'm just helping out, giving everybody presents in the audience and stuff like that. So in the United States, it's 2.5% of the population that are ENFJs. And yet I know 3. It's pretty weird. Okay, well, that's according to Myers-Briggs.org. So that was a look at the dwarf healers. And it takes time and practice, but it is worth it. I'm sure you know somebody somewhere, not just Oprah, that is a dwarf healer. So think about how they are enchanted and how you can relate to them through looking at the same information. Right? Looking at either the sensory information or the abstract information. And hopefully good things will happen. So this has been All Geared Up, a look at dwarf healers. As always, thank you very much. Good luck, have fun.